to say basically when you're at Toto-chan, you realize, it's a free world, it's an open world where you can express yourself creatively, emotionally,
Exactly.
technically, wherever you feel your heart is at home, right? And that's what you were not getting over here. The best thing that you took was reading, and reading what you're reading into newspapers. That's where you explored the two bits where one was writing about atomic and nuclear, one was writing about space. And that's how your introduction to everything education and science finally landed up into these two parts, space and atomic.
Yes.
So, like in your formative years, this is your formative years, right? I mean, this is where the children actually find the direction that they want to head towards and, want to make a career out of. So, what was it for you? What was the stories that you were reading around that time, in nuclear and atomic and in space? Let's say India or even global.
So we had a computer. My uncle gifted me a computer when I was in 5th grade. So we had internet also. But there was a limited time that we can spend on the computer and internet. Now, if we have any doubt, first thing we do is we Google. But then the Google used to be the last option, right?
Now we chat GPT.
Yeah, I still don't do that. So yeah. Reading about it from the newspaper, so ISRO got me. Pokhran and the Indian nuclear program was like something that I really got interested in. So I started finding lectures of Dr. Chidambaram, Dr. Kasturirangan and all these people on internet. So one day, that is Saturday or Sunday, when we will get that 1 or 2 hours on computer, I used to go and watch their interviews. Then Dr. Jayan Narikar is one whose books I grown up reading. Anand Ghaisas, then there were so many people, Bar Phonke. Till 8th grade I read in Marathi because I was most comfortable in that language. Then after 8th grade, slowly, steadily I started reading more about other in English also. So then I started reading about the man missions, then I started reading about a lot of other things. But with me, I think the best part was because I did not get interested in space through NASA or manned missions. I could appreciate ISRO's work,
So
fully.
that was your frame of reference.
That was my frame of reference always, right? So I did not compare ISRO's work with NASA. I always had ISRO as my first priority and then going to NASA and reading about it. So I think what we get introduced to first and how we set our frame of reference is also important. So with me that happened and it was very interesting. I enjoyed doing all of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know then that, later I would get chance to meet all the superheroes of mine, because for me those all people were superheroes,
Yeah,
right?
They still are,
And-
forever will be.
And they will forever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I never knew that I would get chance to meet the superheroes one day, to spend some time with them. But my field helped me to do that. So yeah, the young
currently you're
Ruchira would,
traveling, meeting new people, educating kids, introducing them to the world of space and science, and making them comfortable in their own mother tongue to
Yes.
read about all this knowledge.
yes,
Perfect. You mentioned Pokhran.
yeah,
When we think of Pokhran as a commoner, we think of John Abraham's movie Pokhran. That's what we know. That's what our frame of reference is. Would you like to bust some myths or bring out some, real scenarios out of Pokhran that not a lot of people in public domain know about, or should know about rather?
yeah. There are a lot of stories, and luckily Shrini and I, we both had a chance to meet a lot of amazing people
Such
in the
as?
domain, like Dr. Chidambaram, Dr. Gopal Kaushik, who was known as the James Bond of the Pokhran test.
So he played
And-
basically John Abraham. John Abraham played him.
Yeah, John
Yeah.
Abraham played him. John Abraham played basically a lot of people
In one.
in one. But yeah, then Dr. Anil Kakotkar, all these people have done a lot, right, for the country. I think also, like, a different frame of reference here is the patriotism these people have for the nation. Right? The way they look at the patriotism and their definition of patriotism. We often get, we often talk about patriotism as going on the border and then,
yeah, giving up
standing
life
there
for the
and
nation,
then defending our country and all those things. But I think these people have also defended our country in a very unique way.
And in a very advanced manner.
In a very advanced manner,
in the most
right?
silent and the subtle manner, which impact we are not even, aware about.
And they are all unsung heroes. They are like true superheroes who are like people are not really aware about them. Thanks to all the movies, now people have at least started talking about them. So we should give due credit to all these movies and the web series which are coming right now. But like for example, Gopal Kaushik. We have this one very small WhatsApp group called Oasis Story, and
I really want to be part of this group.
We are like 5 people. 5 people. Gopal Kaushik's wife is also there in the group. She has joined long back. I only added her. So we all are like, we all, why Oasis is another story. So there is one restaurant called Oasis, which is near BRC, okay? And they say all the BRC missions get launched there because a lot of BRC scientists meet there for lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever.
That's where the discussions happen.
The discussions happen, right? So our first ever group meeting happened at Oasis, and in that restaurant we spoke about a lot of things, and Gopal uncle told us a very interesting story. So.
Okay.
Basically, he was part of the military, right? And Pokhran is not just a scientific mission, it was a combined mission where military also played a very important role. And after Pokhran 2, we spoke a lot about BARC and, the scientists there. They did get their credit. But I think military also should get that credit. And so when they planned Pokhran 2 and when they started, all this, all these scientists started going there. Few months prior, Gopal uncle came to know that they have to create shafts for the test. And only 3 people knew what are they doing.
Who are the other 2 people?
One is his boss and another person who was like working closely with him.
Okay.
Only 3 people knew about this. And no one else knew why are they doing this. What are they actually doing? And he had to create orders in such a way that all the work will be done without even military people knowing.
Can you tell me something about that?
In 1974, when Pokhran 1 was being planned, thankfully, Silent Buddha, that time we did not have satellites in that way, right? So there was no one who could watch us continuously. But in 1998, when we were planning this, we had these cameras on us for like almost full time, watching each and every action that we are taking.
True.
So they actually had to sit down and make a plan so that CIA will not, this satellites will not understand how there is something happening in this area. So what uncle told us is he actually made Dr. Chidambaram and all these people play cricket in that hit in Pokhran area so that people will not understand that there is something like this is happening here.
There's nuclear happening.
There is nuclear happening here. And even though they were getting they were thinking something is happening, but there was no strong evidences. And if every satellite comes in one region for a certain time. They don't capture, one satellite do not capture one region for a continuous time.
They
right?
have a window.
They have a window. So this particular window, they identified this window, and then they realized when no satellite is in this area, we have to identify these time zones and we have to only work in this time spans. And what will you do in other time, right? So in that time, they used to play cricket, they used to do all these random things. So it was very interesting. It was like listening to all these stories. It's actually like watching one very interesting movie in front of you. And these people actually narrate the stories very interestingly. I remember when we were at Oasis and when he was narrating the story for the first time, he brought some chocolates for me, for all of us from Singapore. And there were few paints there. There was like a book there and there were glasses and there were plates. He actually used all those things as a material and prompts, and he created the entire shaft and the entire site in front of us. So we could actually imagine what is happening in front of us, right? And what was happening then. There is another very interesting story. After 1998, when everyone started talking about it, and CI told us that they will be coming after all our people. There was one meeting of DAE at Kolaba, and after that, all these stars of Pokhran too, Dr. Chidambaram, Kalam, Kakadkar, and all of them, they all were supposed to go for a lunch. Okay.
Oh, where?
And this is the story. This is the story, right? So they are like, we are hungry and we have to go and eat somewhere. But they cannot go anywhere because now there are like bodyguards and their security is at stake.
To protect
them. So they were told that they can go to certain places. And there is a restaurant called Samrat in Churchgate. It was selected. Why? Because they had 100 plus dishes on their menu card. It was one of the top restaurants then, right? Now all these people go to Samrat. Before that, the people at Samrat receive a call that, all these people are coming, and they decide that we want to make sure that whatever they ask for, they will get, right? So they prepare for every dish on their menu card. All these people go, they sit down at the one of the benches in the ground floor, right? Yeah, and the ground floor, and without even looking at the menu card, they ordered curd rice. And the horror, Samrat did not have curd rice on their menu card. So Samrat people prepared curd rice for them. They offered it to them, and in their honor, they added curd rice to their menu card after
beautiful.
that. And no one knows this story, right? So whenever my friends from overseas or not, like if they are not from Mumbai and they come down, I take them to Samrat to have a curd rice and tell them the story sitting on the same table where all these people sat down. I think there are so many places like this in Mumbai. Like there is a Kenilworth building where Homi Bhabha's museum was supposed to be there. They started it and they closed it at the same day, right?
Why?
They closed it because the DAE and Kenilworth building, both of them did not agree on terms who will pay the bill for the electricity and everything. So Kenilworth is a building where Dr. Bhabha used to stay, right? So that because of that, they created a nice museum of Bhabha there. So there are a lot of places like this in Mumbai, and most of us don't know about it. There are a lot of people who played this role in our nation's security. We don't know about them. Now we talk about Sindoor a lot. We talk about when all these things are happening globally, we are talking about our nuclear policies. All these scientists have played a very significant role
And I think
in
because
our...
of their efforts back then, we are able to convert this bigger picture right now today in a much more fruitful and a more positive manner without zero error rate is what I would like to say, because none, even a single of their bombs or whatever they were deploying, it got intercepted, all of them.